come out with a show today due to last week's recording having some issues with it. So we still wanted to come out with a show and be a week ahead. So me and Dom will be recording later with Clint Bartley. So that should be a great show later on. But we decided we want to talk about next year's pairings for what we're going to breed. So yeah. All right, Dom. How are you doing
Yeah,
right now?
life is pretty good. I'm pretty good. It's kind of cool being able to do live. We'll see if we even have one person that logs on, considering we told everybody we were going live an hour ago. So if anybody logs on, cool. If not, we can just shoot the shit, talk about what's going up, what we're going to be breeding, and what we're going to be doing, and just chat for a little while. If anybody's curious, the show from last week was with Dr. Whitman. It's amazing. It was a really, really good show, but the lines are off, the talking is off, and it's always, if you start podcasting, you'll notice that if somebody has garbage internet or is on Wi-Fi, it just takes a little bit of crappy internet to ruin the whole podcast. So we're working hard on trying to make it work. So well, and by we I really mean Michael, because I don't do any of that. But Michael, I believe in you. How have you been, Shan?
Yeah.
Oh, go Mike.
Yeah. Like Zach was a great guest. It was a great show, and hopefully, hopefully we can make it work. Or else we'll try to get him on again, maybe for a live, and maybe that'll work a bit better. But yeah, well, we just got to keep moving forward. All right, Shan.
I mean, that's what it's all about, the learning phases and everything we do, right? So I guess this is a learning phase for you guys, right? Maybe ask the guests before you start, like what it takes. Do you ever tell them that you should plug your into your router,
We've
Nah,
never actually requested
usually,
any of that.
and usually it's not
Just saying.
too like for my laptop I don't plug in. Like I think for the most part it's fine. I think it could be anything from just being a little far from the router or something, right? I'm sure sometimes our audio might be even a little off, so it's not necessarily the guest's fault. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all a learning curve. It sounds like Smitty and Eric have had issues with their own shows in the past. Not too common, but it happens. So you just got to roll with it. And yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be nice if the AI stuff could just sync it back up, but they're not there yet. So
Did you try?
yeah. No, well, kinda, but yeah, no. The ways that it was trying to get me to do it, like I tried, and then it just still didn't sync up. So yeah, it sucks, but
What do you mean
that's why we're here.
hey, the stuff that you guys do, like Chat GPT or something, can't do any of that
Yeah.
stuff, or what?
I don't know. I'm not a tech person really, so.
What? You're the young guy.
Yeah, I don't do technology too well. This like I'm able to figure this out not too bad, but yeah. Hey, we got two people watching. We got Sean in the chat, so it's good to see you, Sean. We got to see him down at Toronto back in September, which was cool.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
So where do you guys want to start? How about we, Sean? Anything new? Shan. Anything new in your? I don't even know why I called you that. Anything new in your collection in the past week or two? Anything new? I don't even know if he's hearing me. Is he frozen?
I think he might be frozen.
All right. Well, everybody, that's Shan when he doesn't move and plays statue. I'll talk about myself. We'll see if he comes back on. Shan, if you can hear us, just log off, come back on, and make it work. I guess on my end, I did a really big feeding just last week. Fed everything. I'm really packing on the pounds on everything that I can. Mostly everything eats. I'm planning on feeding only one more time near the end of the month. It's kind of exciting. It's the time of the year that I love because, everything's getting like chunky, and I know I'm nearing the end of like the insane amount of cleaning. Because I don't know if you're like me. Like I feed everything, and then the next day it's like you go through all the cages and you look to see who doesn't eat. And I'd say like 99% of all the animals eat, but you always got to play the game of find the smell, like finding the one rodent that one animal in all the cages didn't eat, and you're trying to track it down. So we did that. Lots of dirty cages this week because everything's going to the washroom now. And then after that, It's kind of exciting. It's kind of the fun times. Like it's a time of the year where I love like everything's just about to be ready to breed. So I'm pretty happy. I've tried to figure out all my pairs. We talked about it real quickly, me and Shan, on the breeding chat, but we can definitely go more into details. How about you, Michael? Anything new? I don't know if you kind of went into it, but anything new this week or?
Not too much. I got a bunch of Sandbows to feed, so about 6 of them took their second meal. So they took live last weekend, and at the end of this week, I decided to try some frozen again with them, and one more took, and then the ones that took live took frozen, so that was nice.
How
And
big
then
are they?
Subox, 4 or 5 inches. Like for Sandbows, they're actually a good size. Like I've seen people have way smaller neonates, so the size that they are for Sandbows isn't too bad. Like they eat a pinky for sure, so it's not like you're force feeding them anything really. You just kind of have to wait for them all to slowly switch over.
So you're about to talk about Subox. Every single time you say Subox, I got to go on my stupid phone, Google what's a Subox. So tell me, it's some kind of a rat snake, right? Like
So
you got to add.
So it's a Transpecos rat snake, and their scientific name is Bogertophis subocularis.
Okay, so we should have a rule on this podcast. Whenever you use a scientific name, just give the layman's name. Like the people that are less smart than you want to know.
Agreed.
Because you talk about your colubrids and you go crazy with all your names. I don't know them, man. Like Subox. Yeah. Every time I'm always on my phone. Okay, Subox snake. Oh, rat snake. Got it. Keep going. And that's the one you talk about all the time. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries. Yeah, no, I get that. It's just like the Subox is so much easier to say than Transpecos rat snake or Bogertophis subocularis. So it's kind of like that, the shortcut. They have a few other nicknames, like some people call them, what was it, H snakes, bogies, bat snakes. I think there's a few weird nicknames that people have given them, but Subox is like the Transpecos or Subox, I guess.
That's the one I would say. Transpeco.
Yeah.
Transpeco is what I would say.
Yeah, no, they're doing good. I got 3 of them feeding. Got one on live, so I just doubled it up on the live when it finally ate, and then two on frozen. So yeah, they're all staying here, so I'm not really too worried either way. They're not going anywhere unless there's unless all 4 are males or all 4 are females. They're probably just gonna stay here.
Is that an expensive snake? Like 300?
No.
400?
I think they're like, I don't know, anywhere from like 225 to 300, but they're just normals. Like you get blondes and stuff, and they're not too much more kind of thing. I'm sure we'll talk about it with Clint later because Clint breeds a few Subox, although it sounds like he has some troubles keeping them. Because they're one of those colubrids that's known to be kind of finicky depending on your environment. So some people think you either need to keep like just way more ventilation with them or not that much water with them kind of thing because they might get respiratory stuff. I haven't had any issues, and well, I live in Vancouver where it's fairly humid for a good part of the year. So yeah, I don't know. I just, with the tubs and the cages I keep them in, I just put tons of extra ventilation. And then I keep them fairly dry and give them a smaller water bowl kind of thing. And they've been doing pretty good for me so far. But fingers are crossed. Until they make it till they're 15 years old or so, I'm not gonna hold my breath kind of thing. But yeah.
Very nice. How about you, Shan? You back with us? Yeah, there you go. So what's new in your collection the past 2 weeks? Anything new?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, all of a sudden the power cut out. So not a whole lot right now, just getting ready for breeding season. Probably just another 2 feedings I fed last night. I got a few more to feed, but it's a weekend thing, to feed that many snakes. It's crazy. Things are doing pretty good. Lost a few pygmies, kind of disappointed, down to the nitty gritty with those, but they're all eating really well. I still can't understand how like one can eat like one day and then 3 days later I find it dead, and it's been.
How many are left?
Like 4. Yeah, but there was 6 of them, and 2 of the ones I can't understand why they've gone. Like I said, they're eating pinkies, doing really well. they looked like they were kind of pooping and stuff. Where that's where I thought might have been the issue. So not digesting, but then brought up the heat. Some other things that I had listened to on podcasts and to bring up the heat to help with the digesting. And I did that, and I've had pretty good success. Anyway, they were eating really well. Like, I've had them eat this early by themselves. I've never had that. So that's like, to me, that's a more than enough success there. But it's figuring out like why all of a sudden they're just going, right? So I'm a little worried with the 4 that I have left. Everything's good there. Apart from that, I'm the king snakes. So the bandit kings are doing pretty good. I only have a few that are not eating. The rest of them, once you get them going, it's pretty good. They're pretty easy after that. Still on pinkies there, doing really well.
Nice.
The 9 miles are doing really well. I have that pair. How are your pair doing? Are they still
I
young?
just have the one female. She's just
Okay.
a juvenile still.
Okay.
Yeah. So what have you tried with the alternator? Did they all take like normal pinkies, frozen thawed, or live pretty easily, or did you have to try some other stuff with them?
So yeah, no, I only tried live pinkies, so pinheads or frozen thawed.
Pinhead
Nothing-
mice or ASF?
Yeah, pinhead mice, only mice. Only mice with them. I was able to do that, and that's the only thing I'm giving the pygmies to is the pinheads. So, and they're able to eat it, no problems.
I'm just wondering
Nice.
if the higher heat, you have to just feed them much more frequently. Because if you're burning them up, they're probably burning through everything. Like, I'm thinking they need to feed every 3 days. And I know it's a
yeah.
lot of work.
Yeah,
but
that's
with-
what I was thinking. Every probably 3 to 5 at least, kind of thing, instead of 7. How much are you trying to feed them, or
At least
the babies in general?
I would say a good every 7 days, but I mean, they're pretty fat and chubby. Like,
Yeah.
they're not skinny, man. They're big snakes.
I know, but if
You
you're
should
keeping
see
them at 94 degrees in the hot spot, man, you should give it a shot. Do 2 of them that you
So
feed.
it's a 90. I'm keeping them at a 92, so not
92.
as high. Yeah, because I still got some other snakes in there, right? So I can't. I don't want to go that high, right?
Yeah,
Like, I know the carpets probably could take it, but I don't want to do it that high. So
yeah, that's fair.
I
Totally
still
get
have
that.
my rack is still pretty full.
Yeah, yeah. Did you get the inlands started yet?
The inlands are doing pretty good.
What did those guys
that's-
take to get going?
Whoa. Everything. I've tried everything. Like, they were pretty hard to get going. Even live, like, they just pass up. But I think Brettles are worse than that. Truthfully, the Brettles to me are the worst. Even the live, they just don't even care.
Yeah, they're almost too
I've-
placid, I guess. They're
Yeah,
too
something.
friendly almost.
Something like that.
I know some guys talked about they wanted to feed like crawler, like bigger than a fuzzy but smaller than a hopper type stuff that like really moves for some reason, and apparently that's what I think Eric or Owen used to talk about.
I tried ASFs. I've tried pinkies. I mean, hopper mice. I mean, I could do that, but I don't even think they'd be interested in that.
Yeah.
I still haven't tried what Nick has suggested. I don't know if I want to say it, but the little scalping, a little bit of the scalping there, and maybe exposing that, like making them a little
Taliban
juicy
style,
right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm game to do anything. I'm probably gonna have to do something with some of them. I did feed some chicken gizzards to some of them just to keep them going. Maybe I thought 1 meal or so. Like, that's how I got some of the inlands to go. And the weird thing about the inlands, so I know I'm rambling, but the weird thing about the inlands, it took them so long, and Dom will say that, for them to shed. Well, they took a long time for them to shed at his house, and they took a long time to shed at my house. Like, some of them like only shedded like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Like,
we're talking about over 2
crazy,
months.
right? Crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Absolutely crazy. And some of them were eating with the shed. and that's I don't know. Some of them just didn't care, you know.
I'm kind of at the point.
Yeah.
So two things. One, I'm not sure if it was Whitman last week that we haven't released yet, but he said the weirdest way of getting the animals to eat. I'm not sure if it's Whitman or maybe Booth, but correct me after, Mike.
Oh yeah, it
He
was
saying
Warren.
about the
I think I know
warm
what you were gonna
breath.
say. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Warren.
So that was Warren Booth. So he was saying that the weirdest thing, he's saying that he uses his warm breath on the animals to try to get them to feed, which I don't know. I've never tried it, but I'm guessing you've got a nice, smelly, warm breath there, Shan. I bet you could really get those things to go. So maybe you could give that one a shot.
I've tried that. Actually, you know what? The pygmies, they really like the hot pinky. So that's how I got them started. Like not hot, but like really, really warm. And instantly it went from like not even paying attention to them to like all of a sudden that it's like that little hot spot. And I got them to eat the first time like that. Now they just take them like as soon as they see me coming in there, they take it. But at first I had to get it hot and like kind of wiggle it on its nose a little bit, and then boom. Yeah, it worked. So I don't know, different techniques.
Yeah. You know what the difference is too? Like when you first had your clutch, you'd start panicking after 2 weeks, really panicking after 3 weeks, a month. And I'm looking right now, I still have 2 non-feeders. I have a super zebra that's never taken a meal and an ocelot German zebra. No, just ocelot German line jungle that has never taken a meal. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, they're born at the end of May. So you've got June, July, August, September. So these babies are 4-month-old, maybe 4.5, and they still haven't eaten. And you know what? They still look fine. And it's one of those things where I truly believe in time they'll eventually eat. And I used to always stress out, and I used to force feed all the time. I don't anymore. I figure at one point they're just going to turn on, and if they don't, well, nature is going to take its course. But they can go really a long time without eating. Like it's quite surprising. Again, we're in October. And it was May, the end of May that they were born, and they still haven't eaten, and they still look identical as when they were born.
Okay, so I get that, but I also have like a lot of Bredrils, so I want to like kind of get them going, so we can get them out of here, right? Because I have another.
Start taking them for the car rides,
right?
Drive them around a bit, and then throw them back.
Shake them up.
Ship them to Don and ship them back to you. Ship them to yourself.
There's a lot of them, right? This is not like 2 or 3 of them. Like there's a lot of them. So I gotta try to get them going. Like the sooner I can get them going. Have you tried
boiled pinks? Just thawing them out and then boiling them for about 30 seconds, and then it kind of. I think that's definitely worked for colubrid guys with corn snakes or gray bands and stuff like that, where they just say, or even other stuff where you boil them, it kind of gets the mouse scent off of them, but then also changes their probably smell as well and their texture. I'm not sure if the texture matters, but yeah, I don't know. Apparently boiling sometimes works, but yeah. And then I know when I offer stuff, even with my adult snakes, sometimes you just crush like the frozen thawed head, and then so a bit of the brain juice comes out of the nose kind of thing, and sometimes that'll get stuff going too. Although this year hasn't really worked for anything, but sometimes it works for a lot of stuff. It's weird. It's also, I think every year stuff's different, right? Like your bred light this year are terrible, and then maybe next year they all fucking take frozen, like 10 out of 14 take frozen thawed immediately first try kind of thing, right? Or they're all dicks and they all want to bite the shit out of you kind of thing, and then this year they're all kind of how they are. So like I also wouldn't get like just frustrated. Well, I guess we all get frustrated when stuff like this happens, but next year it could be totally different. Like the inlands as well could also like maybe something is a little different with them this year, and then next year they're gonna take live fuzzies right away kind of thing within a few weeks. But this is all a hobby that we know very little about these animals in the big picture of things. So it's always a learning experience, I think.
Yeah,
for sure.
Sometimes.
And
go, Shen.
And so we've had some other ones that were pretty bad. Remember the triple hets when they were babies, Dom? Yeah, they were the worst to they just wouldn't eat. right? And then all of a sudden something just clicked and boom, they just start eating, right? And then they were great. I don't know, they were great eaters after a while.
You know what the funny thing about that is how like your goals while you're keeping change. The triple heads, we're saying triple heads, they weren't actually triple heads. So we bred, well, I guess this one was me. I bred an albino to a super caramel exanthic, and we made caramel head exanthic head albinos with the goal of eventually creating a moon or a full moon, and basically a white snake. And did that, grew them all up, and now I'm like, man, I just don't want to breed that. It's a cross. It's going to create mutts. The amount of it's good, like you're creating that. You have one chance out of 64 of hitting the snake you want. What do I do with the other 63 non-desirable animals? And I was like, man. And eventually I got rid of the whole project. But it's crazy to think that for like this was like we were 7 years into the project, and I'm like, it's just not for me anymore. And we moved everything. Shan had a you had a what 1.3, I had a 1.4, and we were working with that. Like we had a pretty big thing, but all I'm thinking is, man, think about it now. If I would have known I was starting with that, man, I would, the amount of undesirable possible hets, everything, and all these would be mutts, right? So man,
they're all just pet quality, which isn't bad. Like they'll make good pets, but in the end, it makes you think about how, like, you could just do an albino to a het albino and produce some cool stuff with that instead of all these exantic possible het albinos things, right? Where it's like they're kind of cool, but then they're not even pure, and then it's.
I think this year was the first time I produced 0 mutts. Every single thing I produced this year were pure, and in my entire collection, I have 2 snakes left that are not pure. So I think it's obvious that I've slowly moved away from them. But I guess we all evolve, right? We slowly change, our interests change.
Well,
yeah, for sure.
I had 2 clutches this year. So one was I actually bred one of the caramels.
Yep.
Double het. And nothing came out good out of it, right? Like it was all the lowest of the lowest, right? They're all double hets. Then nothing turned out. No exanthic, no albino, and any of it. Like so that's what when you're breeding double hets, you're more than likely just going to get a normal looking snake, right off.
Yeah, like I was doing those double hets. Shan just come out and come back on. You froze again. So
6 eggs in one of.
He's back.
I only had one.
Oh, you're good, Shan.
Am I the one that's shorting like that?
Yeah, you had blacked out for a little while, but you're back now. You're good.
I think you're good now. Yeah.
Okay. It says something up at the top that it's having a hard time. It's weird because I'm plugged in now. That's really weird.
It still says you're uploading good, so I think it's just a live thing. Yeah.
It's saying trying to reconnect right now at the top for something.
Yeah, the pop-up will probably stay there for a bit, kind of thing.
Okay.
But you're good. You're good.
Yeah. So nothing really great came out of those eggs, right? I only had 6 eggs, and it just goes to show you, like, it was all double het stuff, right? So nothing really good came out of that. So I'm glad we didn't expand or do more females, because it's hard to get rid of those animals. They're not desirable, right? A lot of the ones, not saying they're not pretty, but everybody would rather have an albino, an exanthic, or like the higher up, right?
Yeah. See, we did. I did a lot of the pairings that were double hets. So double hets, you could literally attach this to any snake, right? Whether it be a ball python or a subox or a transpico rat snake or any of that shit, right? But the advantage is when you do double hets, I prefer doing double hets. Like for example, my marble and the West Papuan or the Papuan carpet pythons. All those, at least when I breed them, if I get granites, they're still pure. If I get exanthics, they're still pure. If I get double hets or possible, they're still pure. And you can just sell them as just a regular, typical, pure Papuan carpet, right? And those still have a certain amount of value. And that's kind of where I'm going. Sorry, Mike, you were going to chat.
I forgot what I was gonna talk about. But yeah, no, I think that's where like some like as I see as like a non-carpet breeder, but from carpets from the outside, it's like if you were gonna do like mutts or something, it's almost better to do something like just like because most of the albino stuff here is technically mutts, but then people love albino carpet still. People love albino caramels, and obviously eventually we'll get some albino hypo stuff going and all that. Like that stuff would be cool. Like visual albino stuff would be not like I think that if you're gonna produce something that's still gonna produce mutt hets in terms of that, like I think the albino project itself is good, but they got to be 100%. They kind of should all the offspring should be like 100% het instead of the 66% pos het stuff and that. And you want to be trying, I guess you want to hope to hit the more of the visual stuff, but it's definitely kind of tough because you can't really predict what you're going to produce every year kind of thing, right? Yeah, I think Shan fell out again.
We're gonna lose, man. So I've got another subject we can chat about. So I shipped 2 animals this week, actually 3, but I shipped 2 actually to Vancouver, and so I'm gonna refrain from using the saying what companies we're using, right? But when you ship, you've got maybe 3 or 4 people you can ship with. You can either go FedEx directly.
Yeah.
So you've got Reptile Runner, you've got Reptile Express, which are the 2 reptile people that are shipping.
Yeah.
And then you can go yourself and ship through FedEx and build your own account, or you could go yourself and ship through Air Canada, which are basically the only
or WestJet
basically that kind of idea. So I shipped through one of the companies that are the reptile companies. I'm going to refrain from using them. Overall, everything's good and all that, but I keep having small issues with like getting the animals picked up at my house. And today was again the same goddamn thing. They're supposed to come and pick it up between 2 and 4. Nobody ever shows up. By 4 o'clock, you complain, but because you're not the one who booked it, you're booking it through another company. FedEx is like, I don't know where they are. They don't exist. You got to go through your other third party. And then by that time, it's like, well, it needs to be at the airport by 6 or else you miss your flight. So now I end up being pissed off, getting into my car, driving 45 minutes, dropping off the animals so they can make the flight. I've done this several times now.
This year?
Yeah, like I'd say 1 out of 2 times.
Yeah, no, we've had this. I know, we've had the same problem, but no, we don't need to say who it is. But
no, it doesn't matter.
I've heard of that too a few times this year where stuff was. So you gotta be on top of your. That's why I've tried to book stuff earlier. So if it doesn't get picked up by noon or 2. Then okay, I need to come home from work because usually I get one of my parents to because one of my parents works from home, so I'll get them to kind of they're home, so FedEx can come by and pick up the box. I just put the cryo pack in it, kind of thing, and it's good to go. And then they just have to hand it off, kind of thing.
So what I did was when I got to FedEx, I asked what it was, and I had booked it 6 days in advance, and they told me the big issue was that. It's a problem with the pickup order. The pickup order has to be done manually by the third party, and if they don't do it, that's where the problem is. But anyway, the point of this story is I decided to go and ask, what the heck is the price for what I'm shipping right now? Because here's how much I paid. So I paid, one was $120, one was $130 plus tax, right? And I'm like, what if I had my own account and I shipped through you guys? You know what the price was? So with FedEx, if I did it myself, it was $180 instead of $120. So basically, these companies are still saving us a pretty large amount. Like 30% discount is 33.3. Let's go with that was the discount that they were giving us by them doing mass orders. So I was curious. I'm like, God damn it, man, because we're still saving a good amount by using them. But sometimes, man, I just wish I was in charge of it all. I could book it. I could actually do it, and I would know that if there's a problem, I can call FedEx and do it myself. So I inquired, and you can actually get a FedEx account. And they will give you 30% off, but only for 6 months. So I was like, what do I do after the 6 month then? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way we could do it without having to use another company, just using yourself. Just because I keep running into issues. Like I'd say 1 out of 2 shipping, I have issues.
Yeah, it's tough, especially like if they have multiple like, because most of these companies have other people working for them. So if maybe one of their employees forgets to go through the emails and kind of submit it, kind of thing, it can be tough. But yeah, it's definitely frustrating when like, especially us, like we try to work as much as we can, right? And then you gotta take a day off work or take half a day off work to make sure something gets shipped out. Like, I'm lucky that my shipping the shipping depot is only like 4 minutes from my house, but then it's the fact that I still gotta take time off work to drop it off at 3, and I usually try to work till I'm 6 or 7 at night, kind of thing. So I prefer to stay at work, and because I never know when I'm gonna have a day that I can go in early. So unless I was able to book like enough shipments to make it worth it for me to take a half day off work, kind of thing, it's definitely tricky and definitely annoying. So yeah, but we gotta hope that stuff gets better, and you give them some feedback, and then maybe they'll do better the next time, kind of thing.
I'm hoping it's still like a pretty good amount of savings, right? The problem is, like, if you sell a $300 snake, can you really charge somebody $200 to ship it to their house? Like, it's a lot of money when you think about it. Or if you sell a $200 snake, the shipping is the same price. If we don't go through these companies, they give us a pretty substantial saving, right? So you're almost trapped. You have to use them. It's just like, the fact that if I call FedEx, you give them the tracking number, doesn't exist. Doesn't. They're like, we can see that the tracking number has been done, but we can't access it or anything like that because it's got to go through the other party. I'm like, oh my god. Anyway, that's my rant. Shipping can be frustrating, but it's one of those things you have no choice but to use it.
At least I think both companies have good customer service, though. Like, if you send them an email or phone call or something promptly, like, they'll get on it, kind of thing. So at least there's that. But you gotta, anybody. The thing is, you don't want to bug them either about being like, you don't want to do it ahead of time, and then they hate you as a customer because you're trying to tell them how to do their job, right? So it's definitely a little frustrating.
Yeah.
So most of the time I have to drop off at the airport. So I have no choice, really. For me, I just don't think it's a good thing. I'm easily an hour away from the airport, and just imagine this guy's got tons of stops. I just rather take I just go after work and take an hour, go out there, drop off the box, and then I pray. I've had this happen to me where the box gets left behind. They forget to scan it in or something, do whatever. And then all of a sudden you look on the app when you're tracking the number, and it's not going to get there for 2 days. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then they're like, oh yeah, it missed the first whatever truck or whatever, right? Oh, what a pain. So
for sure.
I've only had that happen one time, and I was a little worried. I was lucky it was a Brazilian rainbow boa, so I think if it was a carpet python, it wouldn't have been a good thing. But 2 days and like not great weather,
The Air Canada and WestJet's actually, like, so I know how much my buddies spend shipping their stuff to and from shows across the country, and it's not cheap at all, especially with those huge boxes that they use. They use like the 3 foot by like 1.5 by 1.5 boxes, kind of thing, where you fit tons of stuff in, and some of them are shipping 2 of those boxes to each show, and that's like, I want to say one of those boxes is like $400 or $500 a shipment, kind of thing, or more even. So it's not cheap to go to these shows. Right. But if you guess how much it is if you were to use WestJet or Air Canada, though, for the same size box.
So which company was he using?
I think it would be the same for either company, kind of thing.
Okay.
But if you were to use WestJet or Air Canada, it's going to be like $200.
Really?
It's going to be like less than half of what you're spending using FedEx.
So we shipped to Japan, right, this year, and shipped a box that was 2 feet by 1.5 by 1.5, give or take. So it's a pretty sizable box. I think it was something like 14 pounds, like not crazy heavy. And going to Japan, from Montreal to Japan, which is still it's pretty far, right? And that was what, Shan, do you remember, like $400 and some dollars?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Very
$460.
but it's crazy. 400 and some bucks to send to Japan. But if I go to BC, it's 180, right? Like it doesn't even make sense. Like to me, it's like one's international, the other one's like just one end of the country to the other, and we're in the same country. Like,
Yeah. It's weird how it works, right? Like sometimes like it's only like 50 or 60 bucks to ship from me to Alberta, but then I swear sometimes it's more. So I think it's just weird. I think there's probably ways of like if the box is like higher, it's going to be cost that much more than if it was like longer and wider kind of thing. So I think there's some different aspects to actually I think Lisa works for FedEx, so she might know the insight to some of this, but yeah.
I know like just changing the size from like 12 inches to 10 inches will save like 20 bucks. Like I've done changing the thing, and I think my boxes are often too big. So like I'll ship a 12 by 10 by 10 for one tiny little deli cup, just because I feel like it's safer to have a bigger box than a tiny little box, but I might be wrong. But because of that, the customer is probably paying an extra 40 bucks of shipping because the box is bigger, right?
I think certain
So,
times of the year is a good thing. More air, I think the less air that's in the package, more chances of it freezing. I feel like if you have a space in between the inner package and the foam and all that, I think it's a little bit better. So not making it super big, but right, especially when you're putting a hot pack on there. If you're putting a hot pack and you don't have any room in there, it might get too hot. Or
that's why I think even now, like if I'm gonna ship, I'm gonna probably ship a heat pack and a cryo pack, because the cryo pack's just gonna try to hold it at like a nice in between, kind of not too hot, not too cold. So I'd rather almost use that and ship in like a cooler time, and then if the animal shows up a little cool, it's better than it showing up too hot.
So the two animals I shipped to BC, what was it, a week ago, it was about 15, 16 degrees, right? Like the temperature is basically perfect. I put nothing in the containers. One of the two people are like, it came kind of cold. I temp gunned it. It was 70. I'm like, fuck, that's perfect. that's all I was thinking. I'm like, that's perfect. That's like the target temperature I wanted to arrive at.
I'd be fine if something showed up at 65. It would be like, that's
I was like, nope, that's good. But I got to ship one more next week. And I'm at the point now, I might put a hot pack in it. Like we've got some colder days, right? So it's getting to the point where I'm considering it. So
have you guys used the cryo packs at all, or no?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I like them. It's just an extra safety, right? But it's another $4. And I know it's stupid, like, but
it's
when you order 25, 30 cryo packs, it's 100 and some bucks, right? So now you're like, you put them in, but it's all extra. It's all extra cost, but
it's all a part of it, right? You gotta think of it all as like a general. You're gonna make this much out of everything that year, and then this kind of works its way into it.
So the only snake I've ever shipped that died on its way is actually to you, Michael, which is kind of funny because I ship about 30 or so animals.
I think it's still in my freezer.
Oh, really? I still feel bad about that. So by curiosity, we can say what I did for you. At that point, we weren't even that good of friends, right? But how do you work when you ship animals? Do you give a live what kind of guarantee, or you give no guarantee? It's up to you.
I haven't shipped too many. Like obviously, like if something shows up like dead and it was like I'd probably do the same thing you did, where it was like, well, it showed up dead, so I'll refund you your money kind of thing, and I would do exactly what you did. But I don't necessarily. I don't ship too much to individual customers too much, so I haven't really had that sort of an issue. But if I do start doing that more, I'll probably have to start just saying that so people feel more comfortable buying from me, kind of thing. But yeah, no, I haven't really had to do too much of that. But you guys sell a lot more, so I think you guys have a good system from what I can tell.
You do, but it's all like it's always a gamble, right? I'm sending it, and you send it alive, and there's nothing you can do, right? If the guy at FedEx decides to put it on the concrete floor or in the sun beside the plane for an hour, nothing you can do. So, and it sucks because it's like, not only do you lose the animal, you lose the sale, you got to pay it back. And then you're like, well, animal came dead. I'm going to refund the shipping too. So you actually lose money and lose an animal. Like, it's one of those things where it's rough, and like, it's really tough because like when we ship to Japan once a year, you're talking about like a very large, substantial amount of money, right? Every year, it's
Oh
like
yeah.
we give them a live arrival guaranteed, right? But if that doesn't go through, you're losing. Like I don't want to say the amount, but you're losing the price of a small car, right? Like
Oh
like
yeah.
you're it's so
I
risky, and that's what I freaking hate, right? And I don't know, does everybody give a live or animal guarantee or not? And I sometimes wonder, like, are we
I
being
feel like
too?
most would,
Yeah,
honestly. Like I think most guys would take care of you. At least the guys I know, they would they would definitely take care of you. Maybe not maybe not always for the shipping, but I can't speak for them because I don't think they haven't really had any issues with them or haven't heard of any issues kind of thing. But I'm sure most people would take care of you. It's the guys that wouldn't do anything that you'd probably have to be worried about. But yeah.
So I have faith in most of the stuff I sell. Most of the animals we sell are in good shape, eating really well. It would have to be something like Dom said, out of our hand. But I would still refund the money, like no matter what. But I have total faith in what I'm sending out that thing's not going to croak on the way, right? Like that thing's had tons of meals. It's real nice hydrated. Probably going to open the container. It's going to want to like take a nip out of you, right? That's what a little carpet python's going to want to do,
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, no. Um,
yeah. And then the next question is, how long does your guarantee last for? If the animal dies an hour after they get it, if the animal dies 2 days after, if the animal dies a week, a month, 3 months, at what point do you say no? And that's where that gray
It's
zone is
definitely
bad, right?
tough because even if they had it for a day, like they might have put the container down on like a piece of heat tape that was not 95 degrees kind of thing and somehow cooked it in there, or maybe they have like a weird gap in there, or maybe they're just idiots and they put the snake in a bin and then just shut the tub and cut its head off kind of thing, right? There's some weird stuff that I've kind of heard people possibly do with stuff, and it's just like not necessarily stuff that's been shipped to them immediately, but like just stuff in general with bigger facilities and stuff where you're like
Yeah, but how
that's
much is your reputation worth, right? Even if you
right.
send it and then they put it in a cage that's completely wrong, and then the animal dies in a week, they ask for a refund saying you sent them a sick snake. It's one of those things where it's like, man, is it worth
You put your
losing?
Brazilian rainbow boa on sand in a in
Exactly.
a desert setup, and you're like,
But so let's
I
use
think
that example. He
yeah,
killed your Brazilian. He put it on sand, and it got impacted with sand and died. And the guy's like, you know what? You sent me a sick snake. What do? Do you refund it, or and is it worth your reputation, right? Because it takes one bad word to just get out there. And sometimes I wonder, man, like sometimes it's just not worth it, man. Just give them the three,
yeah.
400, $500 back and accept the loss. And you're like, well, you're blacklisted forever. But it's such a piss off, man. Some people don't get how like some people just kill your animals, and it's it's 100% their fault. And it's just like, anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's a tough one because like obviously that's incorrect husbandry for a Brazilian, right? They're probably going to dry out in that setup within a couple days, right? They're baby Brazilians, as Shan probably knows, are more almost like a python baby, where you got to make sure they're pretty humid at least for the first year, kind of thing. And
absolutely.
they're
Yeah.
so that would almost fall under bad husbandry, but then it's one of those like you'd have to
Okay.
like gauge is this some guy that's just started keeping snakes, right? And it's their first snake, and then you might feel more obliged to maybe just send them another snake and be like,
Okay.
first
So
change this, do your setup differently, and I'll send this one to you. But like after that, it would be like if you kill it again, it's like kind of thing. But it's tricky, right? Because you got people who oh no, I know better than you kind of thing, and those people you'd almost I don't know. It's a lose lose almost either way.
you're gonna say something, Chen.
so your opinion on this one. So we sent out um, three snakes to this guy out in BC. Pretty good guy. I think he's not. I think he knows his stuff. Good enough. So a pair of supers and another snake we sent him. I checked up on him a little while later. and to find out that one of the supers went about 2 weeks, 3 weeks after
When was this?
last year.
I don't even remember this, but keep going.
No, that's fine because I was the one that dealt with him, right? So and that's fine. So one of the supers passed away, right? And he's just like, yeah, no big deal. We gave him a good deal. I really do think though, I've been thinking about it and I've been thinking of reaching out to him. So at the time last year I didn't have anything and he never asked for anything back. He's just like, could have been my fault. It's been 2 or 3 weeks in. So I was like, okay, whatever. But I'm really feeling to reach out to him and saying, hey, listen, if I ship this thing out to you, if you want to like pay the shipping, I'll send you one of these. And I was thinking of actually dropping an extra snake in there just to make things go. I would think that would be good for your reputation, I guess.
100%.
Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys like hearing how Keith McPeak and that would say like you bought a snake from him 3 years ago and for some reason it died randomly, and then you show up to another show and he just gives you, and then it sounds like sometimes he's like just giving people like, oh here's this one, just take it.
Especially
And you're
when
like-
you can, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And I haven't said anything to nobody and he's never asked anything. He was a good customer, reached out, was really friendly, everything went well. I could just have been mishap either which way, but he's somewhat like, I don't want to mention names, but I think we all know him, so I think
I'm not
he's
even-
a good guy.
I'm not even
Yeah.
sure which one it is, but 100%. So
Yeah.
I didn't even know about this. So reach out to him. I actually have 1, 2, 3
Yeah, I have a few.
super zebras left that are for sale. So fuck,
Yeah.
man, reach out to him, get the sex that passed away, and ask him if he's willing to pay shipping. I'll gladly send him one if you don't. have
Or you could send him a nice
Sure.
a normal zebra too or something, but
one. Yeah,
it depends what he's
I was gonna drop him a little gift of some sort, probably like a gelatin or something.
Fuck, I keep thinking about those gelatins. I'm like,
I
those
give
are
him something
cool.
really nice. I give him something really nice extra. Right here you go. Just throw it in the package. Yeah, I think he would like that. He's got some pretty cool stuff. So yeah, no, and not meaning to keep it away from you, but it just at the time it was just like passing through. I didn't even need to check up with it, but that's some of the things I do with some of the customers. I'll check up with them, a month or two later and say, hey, how's the snake doing? I trust that snake's going to be just fine. And they'll be like, hey, yeah, it's just doing just great. Right. Like most people, I don't do it for every customer, but there's some people that, or that you've done business with before, or they, you can tell they have a nice collection and, stuff like that.
that shit goes so long though, and especially
Absolutely.
when people don't ask for it, they're the ones I actually want to send to, because I've had the people do the complete opposite and they expect it and all that, and I've always given the full money back. But just thinking about it now, I remember hearing Owen actually just in the last episode or two
Yeah.
they just did right now. He doesn't give people money back; he gives them a credit, and a credit is fair. Like you spent $400 with me, animal died. I'm sorry. You have $400. Do you want the same animal? If I don't have the same animal, you can spend $400 on anything else here, or it'll be available
And
next
I'm
year.
sure he would kind of work with you too. Like if
Yeah.
it was close to it or something. Like a lot of guys are pretty decent people, kind of
Yeah,
thing, and they probably would. As long as you're clear about it, like you send pictures and you're like, hey, this happened, or kind of thing. Like people are generally pretty good in this hobby, honestly. Like there's definitely bad characters, but there's a lot of good people out there, for sure.
Yeah. And you know what? I've never seen anything bad out of this guy. I think he's just seems like a great guy and great person out of the hobby. So yeah, definitely gonna reach out to him and
Yeah, now that you
See.
texted me and told me who it is, 100%. 100%. So fix
Right.
that. And I didn't even know, man. You should have, if you told me, I forgot, but definitely fix it. I've got, I'm just looking right now. One male. Holy shit, male. Nope, I've only got males. So
Only
if
hemi-beans.
if it's a male, I can help out. If it's a female, I hope you've got an extra female, because all my super zebras I've got that are for sale are all males. Damn. If not, I could give him another jungle of some types to make it.
So tell you the truth, I have a guy that I've been speaking with all day, and he wants the female super zebra. So if he doesn't take that one, I don't know if it's a female or not. I'll have to check with the guy. But if not, I have tons of males. I have tons of males here too.
Yeah.
So
If not, I only have one female ocelot German jungle that I could you could offer him. That's the best I got, and it's got over 10 feet. So I'm just looking at it right now. So figure it out.
I'll just tell him, listen, we'll set you up next year. We'll send you something, and we'll send you a package. Don't worry about it. So I'm feeling like that. Yeah.
So did we want to get into our pairings
let's
and then
go
maybe
with,
get back to what we have for sale kind of thing?
Let's do Mike. Mike, you do first because that's a lot of Python talk. I want you to go into your weird Collie Bridge shit. So what are you doing this year?
I think this year, obviously, like I think that female Bahama's gravid with at least slugs, so she won't be going next year, even if she drops slugs, kind of thing. Boas usually need a year off, other than sand boas seem to be fine to go a few years in a row, kind of thing. So sand boa will have next year off. Bahama will have next year off, and then I'll probably pair my female Kentucky for a third year because I'm kind of worried if I put her in brumation, she's gonna probably cycle anyways. And so far she's been 15 for 15 with no slugs, perfect eggs, and the 2 clutches she's had. Like that's 15 combined, not 7 and 8 kind of thing. Or actually no, 16 for 16. But either way, I'm kind of worried if I don't pair her and then she has bad eggs that she might not go too well. So I'd rather just have good fertile eggs through her. So I'll probably pair her again, hopefully for another solid clutch of 7 or 8 big eggs, because those Kentuckys are just awesome. And then I'll try the Subox again. So hopefully I tried for 2 clutches this year, and then the female from Smitty 2 years in a row now has given me like a clutch of 7 and a clutch of 8, but then only a couple eggs looked kind of good. And then this year, none of them hatched, and they all kind of went bad, even the ones that looked kind of fertile. So I'm not sure if I want to just maybe even try to find another male and just pair her to it and make like het blondes or something, like, because I think I got a friend that has a male blonde that's never been paired before. That's kind of in a closed collection that I might be okay with pairing to her just to see maybe. Oh, and I think the one thing with her, though, I realized is that so she has one of the old heat panels in her cage, which always like unplugs because it doesn't have the bracket thing to hold it in anymore, because it's one of the original vivarium ones. So this, once she goes into brumation, I'm gonna put a big heat pad on her instead, so that she can't pull the cord out or anything. So I'm gonna try a different way of heating her, and hopefully that solves that issue. And then she will have heat all day long instead of whenever she pulls it out and I notice that I need to plug it back in every couple days, kind of thing. So I'll definitely change that. So maybe that might just be the issue, and she just hasn't had consistent heat other than the ambient kind of thing. So so I'm going to try that, and then I'll try to pair the Rob Nimmo girl with the Trans-Pecos and try for another 4 solid babies like this year. I'll be happy with that, and those ones will be for sale if all goes well. But Subox are generally one of those snakes that takes a little bit to get going, so I'd probably wait a little bit to sell those if it goes well, and if not, I have this year's babies grown up to pair in a few years. So yeah, hopefully 2 Subox clutches, Kentucky, and then black milks. My black milk female will finally be up to size, as she'll be about 4.5, 5. She's a 2021 baby. So I'll finally get to pair her up and try for some baby black milk snakes, which will be awesome because I've been waiting forever. The male's like a solid 5.5, 6 feet. So she's finally getting up to size. So that'd be really cool to produce some black milks there. They're honestly probably the best pet snake because you can keep them mid 70s ambient, even low 70s. They'll eat every time. They prefer to be cooler. So yeah, they're awesome. And then, is there anything else? Maybe rosy boas. If I get my friends 8 rosy boas, I'll probably pair those. but I'm still debating on how I want to do it to keep them kind of away from most of my collection, just because they're from a different collection, and it's kind of tricky quarantining stuff. So we'll play that by ear and see if I can make it work that I'm comfortable bringing them in, kind of thing. But yeah, not too much for me, honestly. How
So
about you,
question
Shan?
for so
Yep.
question for you, Michael. Is your male old enough? Is that might be the issue, or
For the
for
for
the
which one?
for the ones that we were telling that are infertile?
Yeah, the male's like 6, 7 years old, and the female that
Okay.
had the good eggs this year was a younger female. Like she was a 2021, so she's only like 3.5, 4, because they hatch out in September to December usually. So she was on the younger side, and it's the older female that's supposed to be siblings with the male that's not been giving me good eggs. But I think it might be the heat
Okay.
thing, which is why that's the only
So
difference kind of thing in it.
so what do you do differently? Like so for me, how I do my bandits, so right now I'm gonna go right to the end of the month and I'm gonna feed pretty heavy. The girl and the boy a little bit, but the girl I'm gonna feed her pretty heavy, like at least once a week. And then next month I'm gonna take her out of this room and I'm just gonna keep her on my freezer on top of a foam board, but covered in a Tupperware. And I'm gonna leave it there for about a month and a half, and then after that it goes in my pantry, where it can get up to like 50, 45.
Yeah,
And
that's usually.
then I do 2 months of that, and then I do the opposite around, but like take a lot less time. So, probably a week out on the freezer and then back into the room and then give it another month to heat up and then start feeding and then
Yeah.
introduce. Is it the
Yeah, so
same thing? Is it the same thing
I do
for
something
this?
similar. With my Kentuckys and the black milks, I did them with a full, probably 2.5, almost 3 months of brumation, like solid at cold. So I've kind of figured over time that all in nature, as you notice, sometimes overnight it goes from being warm one day to pretty cold the next day. So I do the drop down pretty quickly over probably less than a week. Sometimes I just honestly just drop them straight down or pull them straight out, and they just like I'll leave them at room temperature for a day or two and then add heat. But for the most part, it's a fairly direct switch over, and I haven't had any issues with that. But yeah, no, the Subox, I did lose one male, the original male that was to the younger female, her sibling / mate. So with that, I've shortened their brumation to more like 2 months instead of a full 3, and so that's what I did last year. So I'll keep them down. I'll keep them out in the garage in like on the metal baker's rack thing, and I just have moving blankets around it, so it kind of insulates it slightly. So it's just a touch, not dropping as quickly as like the rest of the garage. So it'll sit in the 50s and high 40s kind of for most of the winter. Like unless it gets -10 outside for like a couple weeks, which doesn't happen too often. It's usually in the low 50s kind of thing, which is good for the pine snakes and the black milk. Like they're all good out there for as long as you want, kind of thing. So yeah, I'm almost thinking I start dropping them earlier this year, because like right now, honestly, all the colubrids are looking pretty thick. Like the female Subox are all like they're almost a little too fat. I think I think I'm gonna maybe
But
just
it's
cut
warm
that. Like I
outside.
already cut their food. Yeah, here it's starting to cool. Like I can already feel it kind of cooling. So, but I also figure that colubrids hold on to their poop a lot longer than some may think. So I might
All
give
I'm
them a
thinking
full
is
3 weeks to clear out.
you really don't want to fight the outside, right? And
Yeah,
I feel like if anything, it tends to cool down. Like it stays warmer longer now. I find our winters are like a little bit
yeah,
further in. So I don't know, man. Cooling earlier to me is just my opinion.
yeah. I would still
I feel like
be.
it's a mistake.
They wouldn't go in the garage till November anyways, kind of thing at this point. Like I would still give them like it's still a couple more weeks of if I were to drop them down.
And
So
here I
it's
am
kinda-
giving you colubrid breeding advice. I've never bred a colubrid.
No, it's fair though. I could totally get why you're saying that because it kind of has been warmer, but then I also like feel that it is like I can tell it's kind of cooling down finally. And like I think we had a little bit of a frost last week, one of the mornings, which wasn't that cold. It got to like maybe 0 wherever I was. It wasn't 0 at my house, but when I got to the job site, I saw a little bit of crystallized water on the grass. But yeah, it's
There's been sub-zero here because I can tell you my garden, like about 2 weeks ago, my entire garden died. Like all the tomatoes went from healthy to the one day they were all frozen. There's a nice little crystallized everything. The entire garden went completely dead outside. So
Yeah.
we got the first frost around the start of October for us.
Yeah, most of the trees still have leaves on here. Like they're definitely changing color, but some of the trees are still pretty green.
But then we have a day like today, right? Today it was pretty warm.
Like 22
Right?
or something.
I know,
Celsius.
super
Wow.
warm, like super warm. Like even last night was warm because I got woken up first thing in the morning. I have a back camera on a blink camera on one of my back sheds, and there was an actual insect that was like trying to like get a picture of itself in my camera at like 3:28 in the morning. Like it was weird,
the
but I was
mosquitoes
like,
are coming out.
it was like a waspy kind of animal anyway. Yeah, it was weird, but it's like it's pretty warm when that's happening.
Oh
But
yeah.
then last week was frosty, you know? I don't know.
So, Mike,
Like-
how many pairs are you going for in total? I'm just curious your numbers.
I want to say
for.
4 or 5-ish maybe.
Does that include
Not too much,
your boas,
excluding
like your sand boas?
excluding the rosies. No, I'm gonna give her the year off. She went 3 years in a row, so she'll have a year or 2 off here. Before that, she had 2 years off, so it's kind of like she goes like there's no slugs this year either. Like last couple of years, there's been no slugs.
So why are you
14
giving her
perfect
the
babies.
Why are you giving her the year off?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
she's 15. Might as well give her a year off, kind of thing. She's not gonna cycle, kind of thing. I don't cool her down. Like she just cools with the room. So like the room night drops. Like my snake room, because it's on like an outside wall with it's like an old. It used to be an office kind of thing, an office room. So it has like a good sized window on it. So it'll cool down in the winter. Like at night, I think it'll drop to the mid 60s, and then during the day it kind of warms up because now I got a couple cages with some 50-watt heat lamps in them, so it seems to raise it at least to the low 70s. And then if it doesn't warm up more than that, I'll turn the heater on and keep it at 75 kind of thing for the day, and then let it drop back down at night. And the room will probably get cooler during the day because at that point all the colubrids will be in the garage and kind of that kind of thing. So the room will definitely be they definitely still feel a cycle. And then the Bahamas are in my bedroom, which gets pretty cool as well because I don't like it that hot. Honestly, the Bahama cages give off more heat than anything else in there because they have the 80-watt heat panels. You'd be surprised how quickly a room will heat up by having a heat panel just on at 100%. The room heats up to like 85 degrees somehow.
Are you doing sand boas too?
No, that's what I meant. The Samboa girl, she's having the year off. So I only have one. I probably should have held babies back from my first litters back in 2018 and that, but I never did.
I'm gonna sound like a freaking idiot here, but sand boas and rosy boas, they're not the same, right? So you just talked about rosy boas and sand boas. Do you have
the rosies that I'd maybe I'd be breeding them for my friends, so that's why I'm like iffy if I want to, like I'd need to set up a rack kind of somewhat in a different room kind of thing. I'd have to figure out a way to do it that I'd feel comfortable with. Like they have a closed collection with snakes kind of thing. So like that's why I'm even entertaining it, is because they haven't had new snakes in like 6 years and they don't even breed. They just have a room full of snakes that they don't even breed, which is hilarious. So these rosies are like haven't bred in 5 years and are huge because they're the garbage disposals. So if they do breed, they're going to drop like a massive litters, which would be fun. And I think we need more rosies up here in Canada because they are a pretty underrated species that are make just a great pet in general, let alone a possible breeding project. So yeah, but I think they're similar to sandboas, where like the sandboas, they'll breed in January, February, but I don't think the female cycles till like April, because I don't usually get April or May even, because March, April. They seem to drop litters in September to August, September, October kind of thing for the most part, like most boas seem to do. So if I were to breed them, I'd pair from probably February to May kind of thing.
Nice. You got anything else, or do you want to move to Shan?
Yeah, we can move to Shan.
All right, Shan. You tell us, what are you breeding? And keep it
not
under
as
30
many.
pairs.
Yeah, not as many as last year, that's for sure. I don't know if I'm going to do Brettles this year. I have enough that I don't think I need anymore. If anything, it'll only be, I don't know. I have one female I want to really try to Wonder Woman. She's kind of got that red, kind of hypo looking. I'm not saying she's hypo, but she definitely looks different than a regular Brettles. I'm kind of intrigued what I would get out of that if I bred it, see, I don't know if that color comes out. If not, a repeat pairing of the genetic stripe. That's possible. The main thing though this year is going to be I'm going to do a lot of jungle, a lot of the jungle stuff. So I got 2 females that are coming in this year. So one I produced back in, she's a 2022 or 23. I'd have to check. So she's ready to go. I think she's a 23. So she's ready to go. 3 years, nice and beefy. I produced her from Bonnie. She's got the ocelot pattern and a stripe. So I'm really thinking of breeding her to a really bright ocelot zebra and seeing what I get out of that. And I bred that one too. Another Bonnie's baby. That one is 2023 also. So we'll see what happens there. I also have a super zebra male that I'm thinking of maybe putting the Bonnie. Seeing what happens there. That one comes from Dominic.
And Bonnie's a jungle ocelot zebra, just so people know.
Yes, she's right behind me, right up there.
And she's insanely gorgeous. Like, she's one that I produce, and I have her sisters and all that kind of stuff. But so ocelot is the little round bullseye circle. Zebra is the busy pattern, but she's a bit screwed up. Like, she's got a zebra, but it's crazy, weirdly patterned. Like, she's just got broken up zebra pattern everywhere. She's really gorgeous. She's one of the nicest that I produced that I unfortunately got stolen by Shan. So I want her back.
Yeah. Well, the other one that I have that you want back too would be the German one that I'm going to breed this year. This thing is insane. Like 50% zebra, German line.
So keep talking, Shan. I'm going to take out a sibling of that German line and show it on the camera while you
Sure.
keep talking.
Yeah. This thing is insane. Anyway, she's ready to go. So 2 new females to introduce. Bonnie. I also got Nugget. So Nugget is a sister to Bonnie, but she came from Dominic and I took her over. A lot duller.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is it that light in person? Like to me, it looks kind of more white from here, but that either way, you can. It's a
I think it's the
it's
light.
still a nice.
As soon as we get a little closer, you'll see it's yellow.
Either way, that's cool. Like you can see how defiant that pattern is on it.
Yeah, I can post the picture that I have originally, and it was kind of funny the dialogue in the actual post, and Dominic wants it back, but he can't have it back. He can't have it back. That's just the way it is. But yeah, no, it's. I thought at first it was going to be a male. We had it as a male, and then I sexed it 2 years ago, and then found out, and I was like, hey. So started working on that and getting her up to size, but she's good to go this year. So a lot of so Nugget is basically Bonnie's sister, not as bright as Bonnie. Bonnie's really bright, got that bright yellow.
Oh wow.
It's hard to tell on the camera, but like that's probably bright yellow. Yeah, I can tell it's got a lot of yellow. It's just the camera's quality.
Now,
right?
now
And
if only we make
and the
it
lighting
actually
in there,
white and get some ivory zebra stuff going.
Don't get me started there. So the Nugget I have, but it does make nice babies, Nugget. So I've been keeping her, and I might put a super to her. I don't know what male I'm gonna put. We've retired the original male that produced the original father. He's a zebra, NBK zebra jungle, pure guy too. And we mixed him with the Favel line, and that's how we got the Ocelot. Then I got the Ivories. I want to do a repeat pairing of that. I need more of those. I definitely need more of those.
How many did you end up with?
I ended up with 3.
Oh,
3.
okay.
I had 8 eggs, but the container, I didn't have the container fully sealed. Like the container lid kind of went warpy, so a lot of air came in and I didn't see it. So the front side looked really good and those eggs looked really good, but then I saw in the back part and I'm like, oh my gosh. And by that time they were really pretty dried out, and I really feel like I dried some of the eggs out. Still kicking myself.
She's
for
still
it.
nice and healthy though, so you can definitely do it again.
Yes, so that's what I'm doing, beefing her up, but definitely want some more eggs out of her. That's the plan.
Nice.
I got 2 males and a female out of this clutch of eggs this year. So I'm kind of sad that I got 2 males, but they're both 2 male ivory zebras. So the higher end, and one of them's like, it's like, I think we're on our 3rd shed, and my gosh, this thing's it's turning out pretty white. I like it. I mean, it's not super white, but if you were to put a regular zebra jungle, that's like yellow and black to this one, you would definitely be able to tell the difference.
You know what the coolest thing is about your zebra project, the ivory, is
Yes.
that I know once you have enough, I'm getting some.
maybe.
Oh, I'm getting some.
So the main thing is getting these males up to par, because I really want to put those back to the female, right? Because then I go for super ivories. I really want to eventually have something. So that would be for all the pure jungle stuff. I'm gonna try spotteds for the first time this year.
Well, those will be cool.
Yeah, Dom's done it before, so I'm gonna try that. I'm
Was
gonna
that
focus.
Dom's pair that he had?
No. So these are babies that I got from Dom, and I raised them up. It's been like 3-4 years I've had them.
I think I sold my pair to, is it Sean?
Yeah, Sean has them.
I think I sold them to Sean. I sold my pair and he
Yeah.
produced them this year, but all the eggs went bad, if I remember well, which is too bad for him. But you got some of the offspring.
No, it wasn't Sean. It was Wayne.
Oh, yeah, it is Wayne, actually. Sorry,
It's
not
Wayne.
Sean. Wayne. And Wayne got a clutch this year, but unfortunately, all the eggs went bad on him. So.
Yeah, but Sean did buy spotted, but he didn't buy the pair. He just bought a baby. But no. So I'm gonna try for those. Gonna try the Warmas. I'm gonna really try to focus on those guys.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I need a female.
Yeah, I'd really like to try it again one more time, just to say, I've done it 3 times, so I know I can do it. It's just.
Just so people know, Shan can produce womas, but he can only produce males. Only males. Every single clutch he's had, only fucking males. Never a goddamn female in there. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all good. So apart from that, I'm probably gonna do the bandeds again, the gray bands again. I'm thinking those babies, once I get them feeding, they're gonna sell pretty well. I've
Oh
had
yeah,
a lot of I've had a lot of
people love
inquiries,
normal gray bands.
right? And you
Yeah.
never see them. Like if you look on Kijiji or anything like that, you never ever see them online. So I really think that they'll do really well.
Yeah.
So I've
I
had a
think.
few inquiries, but nothing. They're not
Yeah.
ready to go yet, right?
What do you
So
guys
go ahead.
think about, like, if it'd be cooler if, because I see that we kind of all scan Kijiji and stuff, because that seems to be like the only kind of classified site that people in Canada kind of regularly use. Like, not all the breeders use it either. And then Morph Market's really hit and miss. Like, there's some people that are from Canada and do post stuff on there, but
I know.
it's kind of weird. Like, I wish Morph Market had, like instead of being U.S. and Canada, you could like have a selection of just looking at Canada, just so it's different
Yeah.
kind of thing.
They
Like
say
I
they
wish,
do, but it
but
should
it's
be
not.
just
It
like
just says U.S. and
morphmarket.com and
Canada.
then morphmarket.ca. They should just make a completely different website, you know?
I could see why they don't want to do that, because that's probably a lot of more work and another copyright thing. But like at least like just a section just divided just a little more from splitting up the Canada and U.S. ads kind of thing.
I think for us, Facebook
'Cause
is
we
still
used
the
to-
best place.
Yeah, but even then, people
See, you hit
there's not
better
much
on
activity
Facebook.
on there almost.
See,
So
you
it's
hit
kind of
better on Facebook. I hit better on Kijiji. I don't know. Facebook sometimes. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't get many people texting me from Facebook today. Yes, but I mean, like usually
Yeah.
it doesn't happen. I won't get that random guy to ask me, and if I do, it's just a random person just inquiring, and then doesn't
yeah.
produce anything, right?
I've
So
gotten
Shan, sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I've gotten a few Americans on the Kentucky stuff, because I'll post the Kentucky pine pictures in the big Pitchuovis groups. But then still, as soon as you say you're from Canada, they don't really want to pay the shipping to the U.S., which it's for a $600 American snake is that isn't on Morph Market. There's none on Morph Market right now. So if you really wanted one, what you have to dough out I think I want to say it's 300 US to ship like a box that could fit several animals in it to the US through
You
one of
don't
the
need
shipping.
permits or anything for that, right?
You just basically have to declare what it is, kind of thing, as long as they're not protected, they're non-CITES, so it's pretty straightforward. You don't have to wait for permits, you just have to wait for an export date kind of thing, which is closing soon, and then
Does
won't
anybody
reopen
even
till
check in that box to see what it is? Like anybody competent, or you literally could
they probably do. They probably randomly do, kind of thing, just to make sure, but honest, like that's why they just ask you to keep them in containers instead of bags for the most part, even though Smitty used bags with the sub-ox when he sent them up to me, but it's still pretty straightforward for the
So I
most
often
part.
wonder that because, like, whenever we ship animals, like the people have no fucking clue what they're looking at. Like, it's just like some little security guard, and he's like, "Yeah, oh, cool. What is that?" And you're like, "It's a python." He's like, "Oh my god, is it gonna eat me?" And you're like, "Yeah." And you're the one checking to make sure my CITES animals are actually what's in there, right? Like, I've never had a competent person look at my box and be like, "Oh my god, I know what this is." I could have put a retic and sold it as a carpet, or put a blood python and sold it as an albino.
That's how some of those retic morphs are in the U.S. now, even though it's against the Lacey Act, right? I'm pretty sure it's from what it sounds like from listening to other podcasts that some guys have gotten away with doing it by throwing them in ball python shipments from Indo to here or whatever, and you just say it's a freaking ball python, and they don't really check, which is kind of silly when like the whole retic thing is a whole nother. That like why are we breeding these 18-foot snakes that nobody can properly take care of, really, for the most part? Just put your energy into something else that's actually better, and
it's okay.
Wouldn't even be
Dwarf.
an issue.
It's okay. They're dwarf.
They're hybrids, as Nick would say. They're all hybrids
now. They really are, though. I really wish people would say that. Like, it's one of my huge pet peeves is like somebody will be like, "Hey, I've got a beautiful gamma, you know, like, or I've got a beautiful diamond jungle jag," and it's like, okay, but you're calling it a diamond, You're calling it a jungle and a jag. Why isn't it a diamond jungle coastal jag? Right? For some reason, people tend to always remove the pretty animal. Right? I've got a diamond zebra. Okay, but it's not just a diamond. There's another animal that went in there to create this cross hybrid.
And there's
but
probably more too.
I don't get it. I don't get why people don't put everything that it is and call it a hybrid, because it's 100% a hybrid. Just like whenever people talk about all theirs, and I love the look of all the green tree pythons, but can we call a spade a spade? Like, it's not a designer python, it's a designer hybrid, right? Like, it is a hybrid. Like, the stupid fucking word designer, just call it a hybrid.
Well,
It's a green
I don't
tree
mind the word designer if it's one of those, like, if it's the sickness or something like that. Like, that is a designer animal, I would say, like, because it's almost like how dog breeds are. Like, they're either a dog breed or they're like a cross kind of thing, right? Like, there's, like, it's still a dog, but at least a breed has, like, it's at least kind of elevated a bit. Obviously, I wouldn't say the designer chondros are necessarily their own breed of chondro, but they're more refined, I would say. I'd say it's more of a refined thing. Kind of like eventually, I'm sure Dawn's Stonewash, Diamond Jag things will become more of like their own kind of designer carpet thing.
Well,
as they kind of already are.
but they're a hybrid, right? Like, and the green
that's
trees
true.
are all different, man.
Yeah, no matter how much you like that
Yeah.
snake, I love the sickness. I know exactly what you're talking about. That is a beautiful snake, and everything that comes out of that thing is beautiful. But at the end of the day, it's still hybrid.
It's the reason it's
I'm
beautiful
sorry to
is because
say.
they're hybrids.
They are,
Right.
But I mean,
That's how you get
but
all
you know
that
what?
funky.
But you know what? Yes, but there is really nice red ones, and the pure stuff is still really nice. Like, if you look at the end line, I've seen some of them where they have the really white line or the really blue or some of the blue in there, and I'm pretty sure some of that is not a hybrid, right? It's actually like,
you get those nice sarongs.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then you
right.
get the Maniquari, and then Beox, right? Beox naturally.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they naturally can come yellow and green and stuff. Although
They do.
I prefer just a nice green with a bit of white. Like, I think that just having a nice green with a little bit of white is good enough.
Jayapura, that's a nice one too.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of blue in it. The sarong roll.
We'll need to. Maybe we need to bring Nick back on just to talk about chondro. No, we need to bring Ryan on.
We haven't had a chondro show. We should plan a chondro show.
Get Ryan Young to be our chondro guy.
Okay, I'm down. I think that would be a lot of fun.
We could hit it. Man, he would be good to talk
That would
about
be a good
Apodor
show.
and Timors too.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah.
So, Mike, what do you have for sale right now? Just by curiosity, do you have anything?
I got 2.1 Kentucky pines ready to go.
Yeah.
And then I guess if somebody did want a Kenyan sandboa from me, they could hit me up, but they're probably just gonna go to my buddy, and you can buy through Canadian Mouse Man, because he'll have tons to choose from, as he has more litters himself producing. So I'll just probably sell most of those to him, so he can deal with the majority of the general customers. But yeah, I just have those for now, and then I'm debating if I want to let go I have one female Loma Alta Baird's rat snake that I'm debating if I want to let go or maybe try to find a male, but she's kind of getting older and probably needs a cage soon, and I'm not sure how she's going to fit into the collection kind of thing. So, like, I'm happy to keep her because she's beautiful, but if somebody was interested in her as a pet or a future breeding project thing, I'd be okay letting her go to the right person. So yeah, not too much, just like a few colubrids. Yeah, hopefully some Bahama boas in a bit, but we'll see.
I hope so for you. How about you, Shan? What do you have available?
Still have some ocelot available. There's one ocelot jungle. Yeah, a jungle. Sorry, ocelot jungle carpet pythons. There's one there that's looking really good. I don't know. I might keep it for myself. I don't know. She looks really good. The pattern on it is incredible. Really, like, the more sheds, they just become brighter and brighter. So I'm sure you'll say that. I got super zebras. from the same thing from the Favol line. Some Brettles. I have a few that are ready to go. We have some inlands ready to go from Dom soon. Probably another few meals and they'll be ready to go. But there's not a bunch of that. I got some. I got a Sundlow Zebra. Some gelatins, lots of those. Obviously, the gray bands will be ready soon too. We're still going to wait on the pygmies. We're going to give them another 6 months or so. I just want to make sure. I don't want to be in that predicament where, sell one and then something happens and then, I don't want that yet. I want to make sure they're good to go and then we'll go from there. And then from that, I have a few adults left that I would be okay with letting go. I have an albino 100% het for Exanthic, so it's possibly snow, but we'll call it an albino het Exanthic.
I'm pretty sure he's a snow. Looking at how white he is, the more I look at him, I'm pretty sure because older snows look yellow. Like if you listen to the Nick episodes, he talks a lot about how dirty snows are, like how yellow snows are. I'm pretty sure he is a snow, but you can't guarantee it. But keep going, sorry.
That's right. No, totally. Totally agree. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for sale. But apart from I hadn't finished what the things that I'm gonna breed this year, I got a few other things that are gonna go, some super caramel and super caramel tiger stuff that I'm gonna pair up with Dominic. I probably have a few females I'm gonna send over to him. And then one female Exanthic, I want to prove her out. So she's Exanthic, 66% het for granite. And he's either Dominic, I'm going to send her over to Dominic, or he's going to send me a male and pair
That's
that up.
That's a pure Poplin?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. But that's about it. That's all I got. So, yeah. We still lots... I have a lot of great gelatins. I'm surprised they're not
how many
going.
Do you have pairs of the gelatins, or are they mostly male?
Oh, nice. I have a few males that I would let go. I think I have 2 males. So lots of females. But
how many pairs are you doing, Shen?
I don't think we've been counting.
I didn't count. For a sec, give me a few minutes. I'll start counting.
Okay, so in the meanwhile, Shan, I want to show you something.
Good.
So you're going for that pure marble, and this is a baby for Shan that somehow he still hasn't freaking picked up. So marbles are Exanthics, granites. Look at the color on that thing.
Wow.
That is white on black.
That is beautiful.
So that's what you're going for. So this is Exanthic and granite. Freaking gorgeous. Probably one of the nicest combos. So that's...
So I already have a female that I got last year from Dominic. Was it last year or the year before?
What do you mean? Exanthic granites? Or...
Yeah, no. So she's granite, 100% het for Exanthic. And you gave her to me last year. So I'm going to pair that male that you're going to give me to that one. So yeah, I can't wait in a little while.
And this is a male for you. So in a year or two, that one will be ready for you.
Yeah, like I said, to that female you gave me last year, she's just packing on the food. Like really loves the food. Like incredible.
So Shan, count how many pairs you have, and while you do that, I'll go on with what I'm doing, because I don't know if people know, Shan's probably got the largest collection of us three, and he's got way too many fucking animals, and at some point he's got to pump the brakes because that guy has got too many pairs. I think because it's one of those things, right? The more you breed, eventually you realize how much is too much, and like I think I've said it in a couple of shows. I've learned my maximum. My 100 is my absolute maximum. My 80 is my comfortable. And this year I had just about 100. The year before I had 137 babies that hatched out, like actual babies. It was fucking horrible. Like, yeah, it sucked. All right, so I'll steal the mic for a bit. So let me bring up my list of pairs. I'm going to try to do this fast. So I've
Made
got
a list.
I do actually because I wanted to know because I'm not going to remember. So 1.2 inlands. I have my male is a Schofield line. I've got one female that's a Mog. That's going to be the repeat pair from last year. And I've got my other female that is 25% Schofield and 75% UK line, which is line that isn't anywhere in Canada or the States. So I'll do the 1.2 of those. Then I've got 1.1 diamond. I don't know if you guys saw me take out the reduced pattern female diamond. She's got good size. She's gorgeous. Like her yellow is incredible. And I've got my male to pair up with her. That's the male that's been questionable because he really injured himself. But he's had 3 meals now, and he looks like he's fighting back. He's still got a huge chunk in his bottom lip and a gigantic chunk of healed tissue on top of his head. But he's eaten 3 meals in a row now.
Is he getting ready to shed again?
He hasn't shed again. No, he shed once.
Once he sheds once or twice more, I think he'll heal up.
He shed once, but the hole in his head was so big that I tried to peel it a bit and left the skin and that there, and the mouth chunk on the bottom is still there too. So I'm hoping it goes away, but looks like he's doing fine. Chances are I'll have to talk to Shan. He probably already knows. Chances are I'm sending my 2 diamonds to his house just because I can't go low enough, and my wife won't let me put a hole through the house to get cold air to come in. I've tried everything, man. I can't convince her and get her to understand it. It's just a 4-inch hole going outside.
There's not a room in the basement that you can hide them behind some.
There is.
Blankets.
I have a cold storage room literally behind that wall behind is our cold storage.
How cold is that?
It goes to 1 degree Celsius, so like 34, 37.
I wish we had thermostats that could, like, if you just had them on heat, but set the heat to like 55. But that's still tricky. Like, you still kind of want them to warm up during the day a little bit.
I can't my animals can't be out of my snake room. So that was the deal with the wife, is like animals stay in this one room. So, and I can't pierce.
You need to upgrade your next once the kids are gone, you need to upgrade that house and get yourself a shop.
One day we'll see. So I've got the diamonds. Then the next one are the 1.2 rough scale pythons. That'll be my first year trying them. The 2 females they're huge. They're both massive. So first year trying those. I've got 1.2 pygmy pythons. Those every year I breed them. Every year they produce, and every year we try to make the babies survive. So we're gonna keep going at those, and I'm gonna keep breeding them because they breed every year and they're perfectly healthy. They get fat and plumpy every year. One of them hasn't bounced back as much as I want to, so maybe I'll only do 1 female this year, but we'll see. And that's about it for non-carpets. Then the carpet pythons I'm doing. I've got 2.3 jungles. My 2 main males are a super zebra, and the other male is an ocelot zebra. And then I've got 3 females for those. Then I have 2.3 Papuans, so Papuan carpets. And those, I'm again going for everything that is marble. So I've got proven granite het Exanthic, and I've got proven Exanthic head granites. So, and it's probably the last year I'm using those because as of next year, after I've got, I'm going to be able to do marble to marble, which is pretty freaking cool. So I've never sold one yet in the country, and I'm curious to see. I've only seen one for sale ever in Canada, and it was $2,500. So we'll see if it's how those are going to go. But I assume that as soon as I breed visual to visual, I don't know if I'm going to crash the market or what, or how many people are going to want those. But I'm thinking maybe I'm going to export them.
Have you thought about outcrossing? Have you seen any Papuans to outcross to, or no? With the marbles.
What do you mean, like to go to what? Like just a different line?
Just a different line to avoid any possible granite issues that they used to have.
So my Papuans are so outcrossed, I've never ever had one issue with them. So they've all been outcrossed to completely unrelated. I have zero issues with my
Okay.
my granites. So all my granites are perfect. Their eyes are perfect. There's zero issue. So that's one of those things where it's just like if I told you like diamond python syndrome, right? We that's been fixed. Just keep them cooler. You're gonna have zero issues with granites as long as you've outcrossed them once or twice to wild populations. You've got zero issues. I've never had any issues with any of my granites that I've ever produced. So I'm not too worried about that. So that's next year though. Except for Popwins, then I've got the coastals. Doing a good amount of coastals this year. My two main breeders are Super Caramel Exanthic, which is that main guy. He's actually featured in the complete carpet python by Nick Mutton. He's in the morph. That guy is gorgeous. And I've got my other male, which is a super hypo tiger, which is also a very desirable male. I'll be breeding one of them to a couple of females from Shan, and the other ones to my females. I've got an Exanthic female and a hypo caramel tiger female. And yeah, that's kind of it. So if I look at this, I've got 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16. Holy shit. So I've got 16 potential pairings, which is a lot. I don't think I'm going to do all that. Like, obviously, if you look at like the diamonds, I'm not sure she's going to go. The female still don't have a huge head.
You're gonna get like 30 baby roughies. Come on.
Fuck, if I do, I'd be super happy, man. But
I'm only doing.
It
11.
might crash the market, but it'll still be cool.
did you say 11, Shan?
Yeah.
Damn, so I'm the one who's thinking of doing too many this year. I might have to rethink this.
Cut it
And
down to
that's
5.
that's a maybe. That's even including the Brettles. So I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to revisit and really decide because I don't think I want to do 16 pairings. But as a general rule, I'd say 75 to 80% will go. Like if what I pair, that's usually about my percentage. I'll always have 2 or 3 that don't go in the pairings, and that's about it. So
Yeah.
that's probably too many babies. But a lot of my females aren't like gigantic females. They push out like 8 to 12 eggs. They don't do. I don't get the 30, 40 egg clutches anymore because my girls aren't overfed and gigantic anymore.
No
So
McIntyre size clutches.
you a lot of people like you've heard a lot of people talk about how like you're lucky to get like your Nick says it often, you're lucky to get 2 clutches out of 1 female, right? Or he'll say things like that. And like the main one jungle I have has popped out now 7 clutches, which is insane. She's had 7 clutches in a row, and her first clutch were in the 40s, second clutch were in the 40s, third clutch was in the high 30s. She's produced more babies than you can imagine. Like it's insane. So, and she's ready to go again this year. She's fucking massive. She's fat. I'd take her out, but she's like psychotic. She'll light us up. So not a good idea.
No.
Yeah.
That's
What
a-
else do you guys
that's a-
want to
quite a
chat
few
about?
things.
Other few things, or we coming to an end?
Yeah,
I don't
think
mind.
we've-
Either
I
or.
think we've kind of come to an end, but unless Shan, do you have anything you want to talk about that you're excited about this year? Like, what's your most excited pairing you're looking forward to next year, Shan?
Well, so definitely the Ivory's Eye. That's definitely always the top ones. Excited to try to get the Warmas back up. But I think not this year, but next year I'm going to try the Scrubs. I really
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
ask about that.
can't wait.
Those would be
These-
cool.
These things are like, I don't know. So this is my scrub experience. So these guys are pretty friendly. I mean, when you pick them up, all they want to do is shit on you. Sorry to say that. Seriously, they just piss and shit everywhere. That's the thing I don't
Sounds
really
like
like
Timor
about them.
pythons.
I just don't really like them for that. The people that say that they're really aggressive and like go at you and go to bite you, I've never seen that out of that. They've most of the time wanted to escape away from me and shit all over me and try to like spread it all over me, all over my hands. It just makes a big mess. It's terrible. Like the slightest little movement to move them from one container to the next, like without stress, and they'll still shit themselves. And I'm like, or piss themselves. And I'm like, really? and it's like I put them back in the new container that's all nice and clean. And it's like immediately kind of get it all dirty again, right? Apart from that, when you introduce food, wow, like they are so quick, like so quick. Right up to the glass, like they almost want to go through the glass. Like I don't know how to explain it. Such a different movement than a carpet python. So like they're more like stringy and yeah, like most of them hide in the upper hide boxes for me. Like some of
Which
them say they hide in the trees, but mine hide in the upper boxes and just wait for food. And
death from above.
they will take down a full size rat. That's how big they are. And like the male is about a little over, I'd say about 7, and then the female is about 4. I'd say.
Okay.
What do you think, Dom? Hey,
Like 4 feet.
yeah.
I think they're longer than that. They're just deceivingly long and
Yeah.
skinny. They're like such long ropes. Like
Which subspecies did Steven
so
say they were again?
they're initially he when he saw the pictures from Shan, which I think he didn't have the greatest pictures, he named them as Tannenbars, which we were super excited, but they're not. They
Oh, they're
are
just-
axanthic patternless Marukis. So
Okay.
basically one of the more common wines, and the most common phenotype of the Marukis are axanthic patternless, which I still think
That's
is
still
cool.
pretty cool.
They're gorgeous.
Cool.
So they're a pair that Shan and I basically traded a pair of Angolan babies for, and we were happy because we wanted to move the Angolans, and it gave us something different. And they're long-term
That's
captives.
That's a cool trade.
Yeah, it was a good trade. I was happy. I think we probably now that we know what they were priced at when they were imported, we were definitely on the losing end of that trade. But
Yeah.
you know what?
They don't
costs
always
us
come
nothing.
in either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gorgeous, and they're just animals I can't keep because I'm not allowed here. So Shan's the one that's going to keep him. Shan's the one that's going to breed him. And when he has success, I'll say, well, I kind of bred him, but I didn't because they weren't here, and I'm going to have nothing to do with it. So
I get to look at the babies.
Hey, I'm probably going to ask you for some guidance, or hey, what do you think about this? Or you'll come over
I've
and be
never
like,
bred scrubs. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I know, but you always have a good idea some way, somehow, sometimes.
Yeah. I'm sure
You know,
Kush has some good insights.
when you come to somebody's room and be like, do this, do that, give them this.
He's making me sound like I just tell him what to do all the time.
Maybe a little bit.
Cracks the whip out.
What about you, Michael? What's your most desirable pair?
I think, well, for new pairs, definitely the black milks, because they're like the only new one, and I've been raising them up for a long time. Like I've had that male since 2019, so he's been waiting for a while, and I got that female back in 2022, so I've been raising her up for a while now. So way cool to finally get the black milks, because they hatch out, because they're like a cooler species.
White and black, right?
Well, they hatch out like normal milks, but like a fairly good size compared to normal milks, because these milks get 6 feet or so. They get a good size, and by the time they're 18 months to 2 years old, they're jet black. Like you might see some like really faint like bands almost in the black, but not really. But yeah, no, they're cool. They're bulletproof, and you can't go wrong with a black milk snake, because they never bite either. They're literally like, they have an insane food response, but if you pick them up, like I've never been bitten. You just pick them up and they're chill. They're a little active, but yeah, it's just weird having like a milk or king snake that doesn't bite at all. It's super cool. Yeah, no, looking forward to those. And then rosies would be cool too. But yeah, and then obviously like I guess everything I'm breeding, I'm really excited about, because I chose a more kind of narrowly focused collection on what I really, really want to keep. So I really, really want to breed what I keep, kind of thing. So I think in that aspect, I like what I've chosen. But yeah. What about you, Dom?
For me, I think it's not going to be carpets because I've done them so many times. I've got a little thing. Inlands was last year, but I finally produced them, which was a huge accomplishment for me anyway. And this year, I'd say the two most desirable would be, of course, the diamonds and the roughies. But I'll be honest, I think diamonds are number one. So diamonds are like probably my favorite species right now. I I'll be honest, I don't think she's gonna go. Like she's a fuck. Of course, the label's not on there. I think she's 5 years old, but every year I look at her and her head hasn't grown, man. Her head isn't huge, so I don't think she's gonna go. I really hope she does because she's 5 years old. Like she's ready. And you could see her when I took her out. She's still got some girth. I think she could produce a small clutch. So that's my number one desirable. Again, I'm just being negative and trying to say that it's not going to work and hope that it does. But I do think the roughies have a good chance, and
But if
it'd
they're
be
at
pretty
my
cool.
place, but if they're at my place, then that means you're not breeding them. That means
Nope,
I'm breeding them.
just so we're clear, they're going to stay at my place. I'm going to cool them down all the way to 60. At that point, I'm not going to be able to bring it down. I'll be like, Shan, they're going to your place. I'm going to send them to Shan. He's going to bring them down to 50, torture them for a little bit. For about a month and a half, he's not going to pair them because I won't let him. And then I'll go back, I'll take him and then bring him back to 60, and then I'll start pairing. So they will be gone for about a month and a half. And for people, like when you're thinking about like quarantine, all that kind of stuff, our animals are interchangeable. Let's be honest. Shan and I's collection have so much mixing that if he's got something, I've got something, and we just have accepted that our collection is bound together. So I'm not too worried about quarantine between Shan and I's place. So I still consider it mine because you're not going to put those things together at your house. They're going to come back to mine. You're just going to help me cool.
Okay, you taking my mail back with you?
Your mail? Well, it all depends on how well my mail's doing.
Oh yeah, you gotta combat those too. Actually, no, that's
his-
probably a terrible idea with him right now.
So the thing is that Shan's male is much more. He's more of a whiter male, right? He's more of a white on black.
So he's got the yellow on the top and the white on the sides.
Yeah. So my male is like green, like fluorescent green.
But
So
mine's one of a kind.
yeah, so
Hey.
Maybe you guys should just use Shan's male and your female, and then you don't have to worry about something going wrong with your male.
So
and
the
then
reason
just
why
flip the
I'm
clutch.
the reason why I'm saying that is because when I got this male, I was supposed to get a male and female of them, but there was only one, so I got a male, a 2022 diamond. So he's Casper London Zoo line. So yeah, very very excited about that.
yeah, I mean it's definitely different, and I'd love for you to produce them. I want to try to go for the high yellow, high green diamonds. That's the look I prefer. I've seen some like
I've
crazy.
seen some white ones are just
and
insane.
They're amazing, right? But breeding your male has a lot more whites. But breeding that white with my yellow reduced pattern zebra makes no sense. I feel like we're not going to get you're going to get a mush of both, right? So I feel like if you have a high white, you really want to find a high white female. If you have a high yellow, high green, you kind of want to stick to those colors. So don't get me wrong. If my male sucks, we're definitely throwing yours in there. There's no question about it because pure diamonds are pure diamonds. And they're so rare here that fucking like
Although
without a doubt,
Chris is my buddy Chris is in the chat, and him and Tyrone. I think they used to know a guy in Calgary that bred diamonds and sold them for like $200 10 years, 15 years ago.
So
they're all kicking themselves for not getting any.
I'm not going to go too much in detail, but there is one clutch of diamonds that is produced in Canada. It is in an incubator, and I'm not going to say the names. I'm not going to even say what it is, but it will be.
I think I remember hearing about this at the show.
Yeah. Well, you were there with us when I was talking about it. So this guy is like I'm just jealous. Like he's only got like 5 or 6 eggs. I think maybe even up to 7. But
how are they doing?
As far as I know, they're perfect. I haven't talked to him in about a week, but they should be due to hatch anytime. And that would be the first diamonds produced in Canada in 7 or
At
8
least
years.
6
At
years.
least, because
Yeah.
Aslam and Don Patterson are the only ones, the last people that produce them. And Aslam has not had diamonds,
2018.
something like
Something like
that.
that.
And Don
Yeah.
hasn't done diamonds, like pure diamonds, in a really long time.
Yeah.
So it's
For some
been-
reason, I
been-
thought I saw a couple years ago that Don produced a couple, but then
No.
he kept them all or something.
No, because
but-
I've been on Don's
Yeah.
back
Oh,
forever
yeah.
trying to get them. So I can tell you it's been over 5 years, if not more. Because they're gorgeous.
I feel like
you go
those
to
would
this-
sell way better than other carpet stuff, anyways. If you just bred pure diamonds.
You say that, but if you talk to Michael Aslam that used to produce them, he got out of them because he couldn't sell them. He was saying nobody wanted them. He just grew tired of producing nice animals.
Well,
and nobody
if you
wanted
don't
them.
advertise that you have them and how much they are, then it's kind of hard to sell them.
Not
his-
everybody's going to spend $2,000+ on an animal either, right?
Yeah, but that's also the market, though, right? Like if that's not the market, then that's not the market, and we gotta adjust the price a little bit to reflect that. But either way, even if they were a $750, $800 animal, that's not the end of the world. That's still a pretty good price for an animal kind of thing. Obviously, if you guys breed them, they're not going to be that cheap, and they shouldn't be because nobody else has them. But yeah, no, I think that's where people need to, like, certain people need to realize and adjust, kind of thing, because we do have a more limited market up here. But if you're able to sell them overseas for $2,000 a piece, then I guess that's
so
what
just-
has to happen.
Just so everybody understands, that guy that we're talking about is like the only one in a long time, like you said, at least 5+
Oh, yeah.
years, right? Dom and I had to go out of the country to figure out. We couldn't even get them in from UK Pythons. Doesn't sell any of that. We had to go to Germany to Star Python and purchase them from there.
Yeah.
So
Actually, I
to
think I
think
saw
of
that
So
they're doing
yeah.
another import.
So the funny thing is, after we bought some from him, then he's like, "Oh my! I guess I can sell some in Canada. There's none there."
Right.
We talked to him about it. So now he advertised, and he's going to try to get a shipment, and which again is freaking funny because we kind of alerted them to the fact that Canada has no diamonds, and we'd be interested. Now he's probably going to try to get
Yeah.
multiple, and then again, not a bad thing, man. I think we should have
Yeah.
more. So if
sure.
if he manages to bring 5, 6, 7 diamonds in here from other people, not a bad thing.
But getting back to it, that's how hard it is to get. So yes, it's not a $750 snake. Like try to find it anywhere, right? Like I would have easily paid $750. I'd have probably paid you $1,000 for one if you had one, because the import fees and like just getting it over here. Maybe not the import fees, but just getting it over here, and then the market of that. We paid Euro money too.
Yeah, so I think they cost, give or take, right now. And if you look at the price that Star Python,
I think it's two.
It's
They're
around
asking
2,000 Canadian,
Yeah.
give or take. So by the time you factor in the shipping, all that kind of stuff, maybe a little bit more, but 2,000 for a normal and the reduced pattern, you're looking at about double the price of that.
Yeah.
So, and so I went for the reduced pattern. They're one of my favorite morphs, so I think it's
and now you get
gorgeous,
to you'll probably make a bunch.
well, we'll see. We'll see, right?
They're
Who knows?
all the same.
Sometimes you invest in animals that never produce for you. Like I think that
Yeah.
the biggest expense I have ever done was a snow carpet, and that male never produced. Got him to like 6 years old, would never ever breed anything, wouldn't go anywhere near anything, and then mysteriously died one day. And that was my biggest expense. And I had a snow carpet like 8 years ago when they were worth a shit ton of money. And that one never produced and never made me money and never saw a return on it. But other animals, like
Yeah.
you look at some animals you spend $500 on and you've probably made 10 grand off of that animals from the amount of babies it pushes
Or
out,
even
right? So
even like my sandboas, I paid back 2011, 2012 when I bought them. I think I paid $60 for the male I have. That's a head anery, and the anery female I bought the next year for like $80 as like a subadult. And now sandboas go for 200 to 300 ish in that range. I think they dropped down to, I think aneries kind of dropped down to 250 now, and normals are still going for 200 a piece. So like they've it's weird how like stuff has risen and kind of held at that like kind of nice, like I think that it's in that number of something that like a pet owner is still going to spend generally in that anywhere from 100, but usually $100 animals go to more first time keepers, honestly. But then you get that 2 to 500 range, I would say 2 to 4 maybe, and that's like the then kind of that next step people seem to like to spend money on. But then they maybe think a little bit more if they're going to spend more than that. But they're, for the most part, people seem comfortable spending in that range for something that they really want.
It's just nice when you make your money back on investment. Like Shannon and I had bought that trio of Angolans. We paid $3,000 for the trio, which was a pretty damn good price. And one of the females was too young. The other one was an adult. And I mean, we've produced 3 clutches in total from them, or is it more? I don't know, 3 or 4. And we've definitely made our money because every baby sold for about $800, and then we sold the trio back for $3,000. So, and they were another 4 or 5 years older than when we got them, but they're still of breeding age and still able to do it, right?
Yeah.
So, some projects just do well, and then you grow tired of them, you move them on, and other ones, man, you wonder, like, am I ever going to see that money? Like that reduced pattern female, it's the most expensive animals I've ever paid for. She never produces. She might not. You never know, right? Like, I'm not counting my eggs before they have.
But did you spent snake money on her? Did you?
I mean, that one was actual cash, but I used cash that was made from selling snakes.
Yeah.
But the male diamond, I didn't even spend cash. I did a trade. It came from Don from one of his last pure diamonds that he had held back, and I sold an undisclosed amount of jungle carpet babies for her.
Oh,
I traded snakes for multiple jungle carpets for one snake. And you know what? I love that. Like, to me, like, baby carpets are just, they're just snakes. Yeah. Like, you produce a lot of them.
I've traded litters of sandboas for stuff too, and it's like, I would do that any day. I didn't have to pay anything. Just shipped it.
It's not real money at that point. It's just animals for sell 15 animals to get one more expensive animal, and I've done that so many times. Like the roughies is the same story. I didn't pay cash for those roughies, and I did trades again, and I'm happy to do that every single time. I'll trade 20 babies for really expensive snakes, and it's the best currency ever.
Yeah, it's definitely I think later on when we talk to Clint, it'll be really cool to talk to him about the market stuff, because like I know he has the statistics and stuff on how shows are doing and how Morph Market's doing and that. And it's kind of cool how I see, after being to 3 shows in a row up here from across the country and seeing kind of similar things in terms of attendance, but then also stuff moving, it's kind of interesting how it's kind of similar across the board throughout North America. So yeah.
So I'm curious to see, I'm going to re-listen to this show at least 15 minutes here or there, because I want to see how clear and how good it is. Because I'm thinking moving on, we might want to consider starting to do every show live. Because think of it, no more editing. It is what it is. People can ask questions in the chat at the same time.
Well, this is being recorded too, though. So I can go back and edit stuff off this too. So we can always... So if right something's... right now it is live, and I think it will stay live on YouTube, but I can go back and edit it, and then I'll release it on the podcast. So this won't be released right away to the podcast. I still have to go and...
Yeah, but what do you do? There's not really that much.
I just add, all I do, honestly, is just add the captions, even though I don't think people really watch it on Spotify or whatever. So, but that's all I really do, is just add the captions thing and double check that the audio sounds good, and then I just pick random spots in it and make sure it kind of lines up, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So that being said, guys, I think we should shut it down soon, because we got to start another podcast in an hour and a half for us.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Appreciate it. Drop your lines. How do people contact you?
Shan Melanson on Facebook. You can messenger me, or Instagram. I do TikTok too, but usually it's just Shan Melanson. I do have...
You're too old for TikTok. Come on.
I don't even have TikTok.
I do videos. I do videos, and it's cool, man. You just send a video, and I don't know. It goes.
He dances and twirls around a snake on his finger for TikTok.
That's it. Yes, fun times. Hey, I'll do anything to try to get some people attracted.
You'll do anything for $1.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, no. So Shan Melanson. I also have a Snake Frenzy, but no website to say anything. Yeah, nothing good there.
Alrighty, Dom, how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so for me, it's Dom's Reptiles is my website. Not updated at all, but you've got my contact information. On Facebook, it's my name. You can see it on the screen, Dominic Calvano. For Reptiles Rejects, like everybody, like we always say, man, guys, please click the little like button. Click anything you can. Follow us, subscribe. Any of the viewership helps. Thanks to the couple of people that did log on there in the chats. We
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Sean. Yeah.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah. And
And thanks,
Michael,
Chris.
for you, why don't you close it out this time? Give your information. Let's get
Alrighty. People can hit me up on Facebook at my name, Michael Gillen. They can also, I have a personal Instagram. That's also my name, Michael Gillen. And then you can also, if you reach out through the Reptile Rejects Instagram, I'm the one behind it. So it'll also go directly to my Instagram inbox as well. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or any suggestions for future guests, we are booked up for the next month or two, but we're always glad to hear suggestions for who everybody wants to listen to in the future.
Who is it tonight, guys?
Clint Bartley from Med Exotics and the
Nice.
Colubrid Radio. Sorry, for
Nice.
some reason I was like Joe in my head, but no, it's Clint.
Yeah, it should be a really interesting show. But just so everybody knows, whenever we record, we tend to release 1 week later.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
right now, this will probably go tonight because we were missing a show because the Dr. Whitman's show is a bit screwed up with timing, and we're still trying to fix it. And Michael will fix it because I believe in him. And and so the show from Clint tonight will air next Sunday, and we're going to try to do it like that unless we start going live, which we'll chat about. It all depends on how well tonight works.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
All right.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Jan. Everybody.
Again, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
And